Yo, what is going on, guys? Mase here, back with another video. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make this insane transition for your Fortnite montages. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, as it is completely free. If you would like to support me further, use code Mase with 2 E's in the Fortnite item shop. Now, let's get straight into the video.
I put a four on my spine, little baby, she told me that I gotta do better.
Okay, so I am now in After Effects, and when you're in here, I just already have clip synced, so some velocity. So it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna add like any impacts and stuff just because it's not necessary. But you're gonna just want to have what's marked out where you want your transition to be. So mine's gonna be from here to this point. So I already have it marked out. So this isn't synced, but I'm not worried about sync right now. I'm just like gonna show the transition. So basically what you're gonna want to do is and you're gonna leave a gap in between where you want this to be, like the transition. And what you're gonna do is go on the last frame of, so go on your marker where the cut is for your first clip. Go like one frame out and just go composition, save frame as file, and then click this. So when you click that, you're gonna change the format to PNG sequence. Press OK, then press render. And I already have these done, so I already rendered it, so I don't have to do it. So what you can do, you can just like shorten that back again, and then go over here, and on the frame before this cut, you're gonna do the same thing, composition, save frame as file, and you're gonna do the same thing, change it to PNG sequence. And once you do that, import them into your After Effects like this. So I have this and this, so I'm gonna do these first clip. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention to put your resolution to full before you do that. So after you do that, drag these two into After Effects, and I'm gonna just select the first one, drag it in like this, and then it should make a pretty good freeze frame. So obviously this will look more blurry since this was like full quality. But what you can do, you can just trim it down to like this, and then I'm gonna do the same and just put it right on top, and then just trim it down to the length of your transition. I'm just gonna remove these markers because it's bugging me. Alright, so when you do this, you should have two images. One is, and the top one should be like the second clip. So to look like that, and what you're gonna do, select these two, right click, press pre-compose, and you can just name this transition, and then make sure it looks like this. Press OK. Double click this box, and or double click the comp and open it. And we do that, this is where you're gonna want to start masking. So what I like to do is I'm just gonna pre-comp this, and I'm just gonna name this freeze, and I'm gonna check this one, move all attributes. Press OK. So that'll be our bottom layer. I just like to pre-comp it. So now what we're gonna do is make sure your resolution is on full. Right click on the second clip, pre-compose, and just name this you can just leave it named like this. Okay, so you should have two pre-comps like this, and what you're gonna want to do is start masking out everything you want the transition to be. So click on the clip, grab this pen tool up here, and make sure you're on full resolution, and I'm gonna mask this first wall right here. So we can just start here, and it doesn't have to be perfect since we're gonna add feather, but try to make it so it's not like really like messy. So we'll just fix that, and then we'll just bring it up here. But don't worry about it being so perfect because you won't really notice it in the end. So we'll just go like this. But I also try to make it accurate at the same time because you don't want it to like look bad. So we'll just go like this. And then just connect it at the end. So you should have that wall masked out. Then we're going to do click on the clip, press F on your keyboard, and change the mask feather to 20. So now we can also name this, I'm going to name this left wall. So when you name it left wall, just to keep it organized, and duplicate the layer by pressing Control D, press M, and delete the mask. And you're just going to repeat this for everything you mask. So now if you want to like do the transition for the skin, I'm going to name the skin. And instead you're going to roto brush it. It's way more accurate because masking the skin is really hard. And make sure your clip is 60 FPS or whatever comp you're editing in. I already changed it, but if you haven't, just go to where your clip is, right click, interpret footage main, and then change it to your comp frame rate. So now you're going to do double click this, and sorry, if it does that, just go back to the transition, click the roto brush tool, and double click it again. So now you can just roto brush the skin like this. and make it pretty accurate, since this is like you'll see this the most out of this. So when you roto brush it, just make it super accurate, and I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, but I finished roto brushing the skin, so now I'm out of the layer comp, and now I have the skin roto brushed. So now what I'm gonna do is duplicate it again, and I'm gonna delete the roto brush effect. And now I'm gonna name this the next thing I want to mask. So I'm gonna do name this front wall, and now I'm just gonna mask this wall out right here. So this one's actually kind of tricky because the skin's in the way. So what you're gonna have to do, try to make this pretty accurate, and you're just gonna kind of have to like curve it around everywhere. Try to make it pretty good, just so then it looks better in the final product. But don't worry about making it too perfect. So I'm just gonna leave this space right here, so because it doesn't really matter. So we're just gonna go like this, and come around at another point right here. Mask around the hat right there. And you get down to here. I'm just gonna go like that. And now you can just mask it normally from here once you're done with the skin. And connect it like so. So there you have the wall. And that's the wall mask. And press F on your keyboard and add 20 feather, just so it's softer and it doesn't look as bad. It's like right here, you can see I messed up a little bit. So you're just gonna move the points a little bit, so it's not too messed up. So that looks fine. This is just a tutorial, so it doesn't matter. Try to make yours more accurate. But now I'm just gonna delete the mask on this and name this the next one. So I'm gonna do right wall. Whoops. So I'm gonna name this one right wall, which is just gonna be this right here. And you're just gonna want to repeat this for every single build you have, or every build you want to mask, which I recommend doing every one. And it's better if the clip doesn't have like a sky in it, because if it has a sky, then it's like looks weird. So if it's just all builds, then you're good. So I'll come back to you guys when I'm done masking everything. Okay, so as you can see, I've successfully masked every single part in the clip. So now once you do that, you're gonna start doing some keyframing and like messing around with the layers. So right now we don't really need to worry about this freeze layer. This is just the background. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna start with this top one, this top mask, which is like just this random part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press S, Shift R, and Shift P, and keyframe all of these. But you don't need to do this for every clip. It's just if you know what you want to do. So I'm just gonna do the position for this one, and I'm gonna move this keyframe all the way to the last frame, and you're just gonna move this to where you want it. So I'm just gonna move this up just like so. And we're not going to graph it until the end, because it's just easier that way. So now this part will just come down. And if your roto brush is going to mess that. But you can see it just comes down like that. It's super linear, but don't worry about that. So now what we're going to do, you can remove, hide the keyframes. And now we're going to do this cone right here. So I'm going to press S. I'm just going to do the positioning and rotation. And then I'm just going to highlight these, moving to the end. And now I'm gonna just rotate it a little bit, like maybe like 14, and then just move this back over here, so then it just comes in like that. So we have that. Now I'm gonna do this bottom floor. So I'm just gonna do the positioning and scaling on this one, move the keyframes to the end, and I'm just gonna make this bigger and then just move it back, so then it'll just come in like that. I guess I'll do the rotation too. And I'll just rotate this to like negative. I'll just do like -7. I'll just move that to the end. So it'll just add a little more movement. And now for this right wall right here. I think I'm just gonna move the positioning. I'm just gonna keyframe the position for this one. Move it up like that. So it'll just come down now like that. And keep in mind, this is all going to be different depending on your clip. This is just what I'm doing. So don't try to copy what I'm doing, because it's not going to work out, right? So I have the right wall. Now I'm going to do the front wall. So for the front wall, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do for that yet, so I'm gonna come back to that. And for the skin, this is super easy. Just do the positioning, and you just want to like bring it down, just like that, all the way down. And then the left wall, I'm just gonna do the position, scale, and rotation. Move all these. I'm gonna scale this up to like 112. Now like 105. I'm gonna rotate it a little bit and then just move it out of the way, so it comes in like that. So now I'm gonna do the front wall real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I decided to do for the front wall was to just bring it like that. So that looks really good. So now what we're gonna do is you can unsolo everything, so it's like this. So you should only really see the clip after this. If you see anything else, you want to move it out of the way for sure. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rearrange the layers, so like you can see this skin should be over the front wall. So you're just gonna move it, put the floor underneath everything, and then the top should be on the top. This cone's good. Everything else is really fine. I guess you could put the left wall over the front wall, just like that. So now once you have that, you got all the animation. Now we're gonna have to easy ease everything and graph it. So highlight all these, press U on your keyboard, and there's a lot of keyframes. So what you're gonna do is highlight all these keyframes like that. Press F9 to easy ease, and then go to your graph editor. Right click, go on speed graph. Yeah, I know there's a lot of lines, but all you're gonna do is highlight this right box right there, and hold shift and just drag this line all the way over to like, I guess like that's good. You don't want to do it too sharp. If you want, you could fix it. I'm gonna just bring it back a tiny bit more. I'll do it to this one. So now you can see, I'm just gonna disable the skin because the roto brush takes a while to render. You can see now it's like super smooth, and it doesn't look any like linear at all. So with the skin, obviously it looks really clean too, but it's not gonna render. You can put it back to court if you want, but now what we're gonna do is you can enable motion blur. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'll do that right now. So just highlight all these, press this motion blur icon. So what that does is it blurs every single little like movement in it. Like as you can see, that's with motion blur, that's without. So it makes a huge difference. And now we're gonna add the drop shadow. So for the drop shadow, just add s_drop shadow. You're gonna need Sapphire plugins for this. And what you're gonna do is put the shift Y and X to 0. Put the shadow opacity to like 1.6, I'd say, and the blur to 70. If that's too much, you can bring down the opacity to like 1.5. You don't want too much drop shadow, but it makes a big difference. So we're gonna do copy the drop shadow effect, and you're just gonna paste this onto everything you have, every mask, and I think that's it. Yep. So when you do that, now you're gonna pre-comp everything else again. So I'm gonna pre-comp the floor. So right click pre-comp and make this move all attributes. That's really important. So press OK, and you're just gonna do that for everything you masked. And now there's gonna be a lot of layers, I know, and there's gonna be even more. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make like duplicates, so it makes like an echo effect. So for this front wall, what I'm gonna duplicate it 2 times, and then on the bottom one, leave it and then go 1, 2, 3 frames to the left if you're on 60 FPS, and you're just gonna move this second one, so it's like that, and then go 1, 2, 3 again, and then move it 3, so it should look like that. So what it does though, basically, is it makes them like multiple of them. It looks so much better with the motion blur too. So after you do that, you're gonna repeat this for every single mask you have, every pre-comp. Alright, but when you're done with all this, it should look something like this. So as you can see, like the transition is just super smooth. And once you're done with that, you can add some like more effects, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna show the transition part. And now when you're done with that, you can go back to your main comp. And to make the transitions like smoother in between clips, it's like that's not really smooth. It just stops immediately. So what we're gonna do is on this part, make an adjustment layer, add Bcc Temporal Blur. You need the BCC plugin. Put the amount frames to 2, like on the cut. So keyframe it, press U on your keyboard, and you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to the left, and put it to 0. And you can just trim this down, and then do the same on the right. So put it to 10 and then 0. So now it'll just add like a smooth little transition. You could also add a beat shake. So I think I'll leave a beat shake in the description. It's gonna be a little beat shake. So I'm gonna add it on real quick. So it's this, and if it has a beat, if not, just do the temporal blur, and you can just trim this like that, and it'll look. So that looks really good, but that is pretty good to me. So I'm gonna run this out and show you what the final product looks like. Alright, but that is the final effect, and I hope this tutorial helped a ton. Feel free to just like use this and like the masking part of it and just like all the animation. It's a pretty cool transition, and I hope you guys learned a lot from this. But yeah, that's basically it for the tutorial. Go down in the description for the beat shake preset and the plugins. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if you want more of these tutorials. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace.